Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Analysis webinar. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. It's been a great week. It's always a great week. I'm having a beautiful Sunday. I hope you're all having a nice Sunday. Most of you are off from church. All right, so let's get started. It's going to be an interesting one as always, so stay glued. So last week, I gave you a guaranteed trade on US dollar JPY. We're going to do a review on that. So a couple of people owe me a share of the video as always. So stay glued. I've got another guaranteed trade for you guys. So, but I think guaranteed is not the right word because we are trading Forex here and nothing in the market is 100% predictable. But look out for Audi New Zealand. When we get to Audi New Zealand, there is a very nice trade playing out. It's a short trade, but one of those almost guaranteed type of trades. So stay on, stay glued. So let's get started. So we're going to start up with the formalities here, some admin stuff. If you're not interested in watching the whole video, the video is about an hour and a half. Not everybody wants to see all 40 pairs here. We go through about 40 pairs, but not everybody wants to go through the 40 pairs. So this is what you do if you don't want to get bored with all these pairs that you're not interested in. You just go onto my video under the description. Typically, you will find it looking like this. You click on the show more button. Let's just get my screen on. You click on the show more button and you will see that each and every pair that I will discuss here is time stamped. So you just go straight into the pair that you're interested in and you click on it and it will take you right where the analysis of that specific pair starts. Okay, so that works amazing. What you want to do with this as well is not just to look at the latest video. You can actually track a history of each and every pair that you're interested in. Now, I started putting on the timestamps from January this year, so you can track a pair and its analysis over time. So from January, you can just go to my videos from January, clicking on one specific pair, tracking the analysis and checking the accuracy. I mean, I don't have to tell you how accurate this is because it's all out there for you guys to see. We're doing this week in, week out, so you can verify it yourself. Okay, so you can do that for yourself. So one of the most interesting pairs with a lot of pips that we made a lot of pips from this year was the CAD pairs, the EUROCAD, pound CAD. So those pairs have been amazing this year so far. Okay, so that is that. So let's talk quickly about the course. I don't like to waste your time with the course, but the next one is going to be on the 6th of August. Right. If you want more details about the course, just send me an email. My email will be on the description on all my videos. You can just check it down there. It's the 6th of August. So the cost is $529 US. So that cost is a once off for 2 years. So which means you stay with me for 4 years. Not 4 years, 2 years. Okay, because I don't know, because the course itself is 5 days. And then from there, it's daily mentorship. Every single day is mentorship session for about an hour. So we analyze the market for the following day, looking at trade setups, specifically looking at entries and exits, which is something that we don't necessarily do here. So here we're only doing forecast. So that's what you do. $529 US. It's for 2 years, including the cost, and that includes the videos. Okay, so a lot of questions that I'm getting is about people who cannot necessarily attend it due to their time zone. So if you are not able to attend due to your time zone, it may be too early or too late in your time zone, you get a video on the day that you subscribe for the course. It's an amazing course, even if I have to say so myself. I actually learn something every time we have that course. So send me an email for more details. It's $529 US for 2 years. Daily mentorship for 2 years. Okay, so that's how it works. So let's get started. As usual, we're going to start with the recap of some of the trades that we've been looking at right on these webinars. We're going to look at US dollar JPY that has played out amazingly well as well. I actually didn't want to start with it, but that's the one that is right on the screen. So this is where we were on US dollar JPY last week. And I said you're getting a WXY move here. If you check your charts, I don't have to show you how it played out afterwards. You can see that we got this move here, guaranteed move. And I said, if you get this move, please share the video. Okay, can we all share and like the video? That's the only thing you can pay me with. All right, so let's look at some more pairs that we have been looking at. Obviously, the yen pairs have been on the rise in the last week, and we caught all those moves. This is EURJPY. EURJPY last week. This is where we took this last week, and we got this move as well. You go check your charts, you'll see. And we discussed EURJPY last week, and we said that this is going to go to the blue box, and you can see that it went. Actually, this was the second part. If you remember the week before EURJPY, we got this move here. And I did say that this move is not done. You wait for this correction. You got the correction. Amazing, this Elliott Wave theory. Okay. It's very amazing how accurate it is. So that was a EURJPY. And when I looked at EURJPY, I also looked at CHJPY as well. And I said that Chief may lead you to know the direction of EURJPY. Okay, so Chief currently has moved, and we have got this move here. Okay, we've got that move exactly like that last week. So it was the yen week last week was the yen one. It's going amazingly well. So Euro US dollar, we're gonna go into detail. Euro US dollar, this is what I was expecting last week. So we're gonna go through those patterns that I showed you last week, that amazing patterns, shocking analysis that I gave you last week on this one. I'm saying shocking because it also shocks me how these patterns repeat themselves so obviously and so clearly. Okay, so this is what I also posted this one on TradingView because I am expecting upside here, as I showed you last week. Okay, I was expecting that it will go here, but this has actually made a double here. Not just this, it has made something like this, and it has made something like this. There is nothing wrong with that. It is just a corrective structure. That move will go to the upside. Okay, so let's we're gonna have a look at it in detail again. I'm gonna show you those 4 patterns that are repeating themselves on the same chart on Euro US dollar and see how that is playing out. So this is the latest update. I think I've updated this on TradingView. So if you're not following me on TradingView, my profile name is V Manena. If you look for Victor Manena, you won't find it. Just look for V Manena, V for Victor, Manena, my surname. Okay, you will find me on TradingView. I've posted this and I've updated it. This is the latest update from TradingView. Okay, so let's see if there's anything more. Okay, so for my Indian traders, we still have that Sun Pharmaceutical pair that we are tracking. Let's just look here if I have it. I see I didn't. Okay, it's not there. It's on. Let's just check here, my channel. Let's have a look here. Here it is, Sun Pharmaceutical from India. It's an Indian stock. Let's have a look here. We are still tracking it here. If you remember, we took it right here at the bottom, and it has now made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. It is still busy correcting there. Let's just go have a look at it right now because I'm not going to look at it during the analysis. Just go Sun Pharma so you can see the latest update on that one. So this I did for a student who just wanted to see if the Elliott Wave theory applies on any market, and I did an analysis on this pair as an Indian stock, Sun Pharmaceutical. It has been going very well. This is where we took it right when it did this 1, 2. It made a 1, 2. This could be a whole wave 4. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, I'm not going into details here, so just wait for this correction to play out. It has been playing out for a couple of days. Let's go into the daily chart actually here. Okay, so on the daily chart, you can see that we are busy correcting here. So just wait for this. It may be a little bit deeper because this may have completed all the 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so from here, if you are not in this trade and you like to trade the Indian stock market, you can hop in when this correction is completed. All right, so that's that with a trade recap. Let me just make sure that there is everything there and I didn't miss anything. I think everything is covered, so we can get started with the analysis for this week. All right, so we're gonna go through Euro US dollar, and I'm gonna show you all those patterns that I showed you last week that are playing out clearly, and it is following the structure up to this stage. So we're gonna start with the weekly chart. So I want to take you through the recap of what we discussed on this pair last week and take you through what it has done in the last week, and we forecast what it's going to do going forward. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3 waves coming down here on this pair. This is the weekly chart starting from 2008. We had 1, 2, 3 down, a pullback, and a move down. After a move down, you get another pullback like that. So after that one, you get a drop like this. It just drops, and then after dropping, it makes a corrective structure, what I like to call a V pattern. Okay, there's a pattern that we call a V pattern in our group. So after the V pattern, it changes direction like that. So that is your change in direction. I'm going to leave it there. So this is the weekly chart. So now we're going to go into the 4-hour chart and observe the exact same pattern. Let's have a look again and observe the same pattern that is happening currently. So the one has happened the beginning or towards the end of last year. Let's have a look at this one. So this was, remember this one, the first one that I showed you happened between 2008 and 2016. So this one is happening now, last year, September, and now. Between September last year and now. So September 2017 up to date. So that's 1, 2, 3 here. Look at this one here. It makes 1, 2, 3 down. After that, it makes a pullback like that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 pullback. After that, didn't reach correct. It makes a pullback. It's a 1, 2, 3 wave move there. After that, it makes a yellow down. After a yellow down, it makes a pullback in red. After a pullback in red, we drop in yellow. What happened here after dropping in yellow? The last one, we get a slowing down pattern, the famous V pattern. What happens after the V pattern? We get a change in direction here. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to move my chart again and look at a different area. So the second one that I just showed you ended here. So I'm going to show you this one as well. 1, 2, 3. The same thing here, and it pulls back. It pulls back in 1. Here you get a down move here. You won't see this pullback in this degree. It's only in the lower degree where you can see it clearly. Let me do it in red. Let's pull it back there. And from there, it drops like all the other patterns that we're currently looking at. What happens after it drops? It makes that V pattern that we're so familiar with now. What happens after the V pattern? You can see that it changes direction. Okay, so it's 3 so far, 3 patterns so far. So in March last year, I actually tagged this the March video where I was looking at this pattern right here at the top, forecasting that we're gonna go straight down. I'm going to go to the full screen here. We'll go quickly to the full screen. So the current move, how we forecasted this current move to the downside. And it was because of this repetitive pattern. You cannot miss this, and when it's right in front of your eyes. Okay, obviously you need a trained eye to be able to spot this. So look at this one that started in February. This is February now. Okay, February, and we get a pullback in 3 waves. That's your pullback. This one is clear, a move down, and a pullback in red. After that, you get a move right all the way down like that. Okay, let me draw it cleanly. Let me draw it cleanly. So this is that. So after that move, what do we expect after the last yellow down? Same thing, eh? We expect the V pattern. We expect the V pattern. It's not what is playing out right now. It's slowing down. What are we anticipating when this V pattern is complete? We are expecting a change in direction. That's what we're expecting. So now I'm gonna move my chart away so you can just see the patterns only. Look, we started with this one. 1, the weekly chart. 2, the 4-hour chart. 3, also on the 4-hour chart. 4, also on the 4-hour chart. These patterns exactly identical, doing exactly the same thing. Okay, so this has not played out yet. So I'm gonna update now what has happened in the last week after I did this. and what I'm expecting. So I'm going to clear all of this, take a snapshot. I'm going to clear all of this now and go back to Euro US dollar again and compare this reversal pattern that I've noted here. So this reversal pattern has happened before. So you see here where we are now. This that slowing down pattern, the V pattern that is currently happening now. So I want to show you, I'm going to bring another chart here. And interestingly, I'm going to bring a US dollar JPY. For those that are watching the video for the first time, don't be surprised. I usually spend a bit of time on Euro US dollar. Okay, so the US dollar JPY. So I want to show you a pattern that has happened before on US dollar JPY that we can compare with the Euro US dollar. It was a reversal pattern that has happened on Euro JPY. Not there, but let's see where that happened. Exactly here. Yes. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did last week as well here. And I am going to cut this here. I'm going to cut it here. All right. So now if you look at this, pits here, it has already played out. You guys know by now that it made a move down and went with a strong impulsive move over 2,000 pips to the upside. So now Euro US dollar, exactly the same. Now you tell me if you see any difference between these two patterns. Here, right at the bottom, at the end of the swing here, you get a move to the upside and a move down. After that, you get a three-wave move, 1, 2, 3 up. Similar, US dollar JPY, 1, 2. Let's draw it cleanly, 1, 2. All right, so this is another 1, 2, 3 waves. Any difference so far? Do you see any difference? So what I said last week was that I am looking at these to make a move down here. I'm looking at Euro to make, this was before this move happened last week. It was before this move happened. So this move has now happened to the downside. Which move is that? It is this one. So what are we expecting now? We're expecting that we get this move to the upside. But we know that we are not just looking at the similar pattern. The sequence must also confirm what we are looking at. So we're going to look at the sequence as well and see why we want this to go up. We cannot just say it's going to go up because we're looking at other patterns. Its own sequence must confirm the same. Okay, so we are looking for this move. So this down move we've got. So I'm going to go back to one chart now and look at that over there. Okay, so now what has happened? We have got a 1, 2, 3. We've got a three-wave pullback. You've got a three-wave pullback here. 1, 2, 3. What has happened after that? You're getting a pulse. What you want to do with this one is if you get a correction here in the lower degree, you're going to take this trade. You're going to first target this area. Okay, you're going to first target this area because this can do this before it starts going, which will not change the structure. It will only be giving you a different type of correction. That will simply mean that these three waves is not enough to correct all of this move. So either way, you take the trade here, target that area first, and then if it moves down there and back, you're going to take it again here. That's what you're looking for. So what is the sequence? What are we looking at on the sequence here? So if you have been watching the videos for a couple of weeks, let's get back to the original. You know that we are looking at the move down as a correction. Let's show the structure there. We are looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking at this as a possible truncation. Two things that could happen here. If this has truncated, then we are looking for this to go and give us a BC move there, because we are looking at this as an A, and this whole thing will be a B move. this will be a whole B move here. So that is why we are looking for upside on this one. Okay. Alternatively, because what we are looking at there is the personality and with the eye. So another alternative is that this could be a triangle. This could be a triangle. It's a bit premature to forecast a triangle here, but we'll see as it plays out. But I am going to take a trade when it makes this correction here. Even it's going to come back down here, I will move to break even. And if it's going back again for upside, I'm taking it again. And I'm sure after that, it will go. Okay, so that's how you look at that one. All right, so possibility of a triangle or a diagonal, either way. So keep eye on this one, keep track on this one. It'll be a very nice trade. It may recover most of the accounts if you get the timing right. Okay, so let's carry on, look at the rest of the pairs. Pound US dollar. So pound US dollar, you can see most of the US dollar pairs have made a 3-wave move up and a 3-wave pullback. 1, 2, 3 here. So in the next week, you're looking just for a correction and targeting this area because you don't know if it's going to make one back up before it goes again. Okay, so you are only simply targeting this first. You can manage the trade depending on your strategy. So we're looking for upside here. This is a nice corrective structure there. It's a nice 3-wave structure. You've got 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. Easy. Correction, minimum that level. It may even go further. Okay, it may even give you this one here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's pound US dollar. Let's look at US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD, a little bit tricky at this stage. We've got this 1, 2, 3 wave move down. So now it looks like it's correcting in 3 waves like that. Okay. Somebody may ask me, why am I projecting high for US dollar CAD and while I'm projecting that the US dollar is going to be weaker in the next coming session? That's because you've got CAD in the dollar. So this can be influenced by the CAD more than the US dollar. So it does happen that you get this one making this move together with the euros and the pound going to the upside. So monitor this. Let's monitor this. So 2 ways to look at this one here. It is very premature. This correction is not complete yet. So it can give you this move like that before it takes to the move to the downside. Or this whole thing could just be a correction for one up and then down. Okay. So that's how you look at this one. So this may actually just go a little bit more sideways. Nothing you can really say on this structure. Okay. So we just keep an eye on this one. All right. Those who took it there, just let the trade run, protect your profits, run it risk-free. All right. That's US dollar CAD, US dollar CHF. So US dollar CHF, same as the euro, other US dollar pairs. So US dollar CHF is making a very clear structure now. This is a 1, 2, 3 wave move. Okay, so are we now gonna make this move to the downside? And this move may just be this one here, and that can be a 3 wave move like that. Show you here. This 3 wave move. So you can make this sideways move. So we're still looking for this to go and give us wave 5. Let me show you on the daily what we're looking at here. So those who like to look at candles will tell you that this looks like a pin bar. Okay, so this, if you're looking at it on the daily, may look like a very nice flat correction in the making here that can come and do this, as I was showing on the 4-hour. And like that. So this is confirmed with what we're looking at on the euro US dollar pair. So euro strong, we're looking at a weak dollar in the next coming session, short-term weakness. Okay, so let's show you the structure. Let me show you the structure, the overall structure that I'm looking at on this pair. There's a big diagonal that I'm looking at since last year, since 2017. If you watch some of the videos in 2017, you will see this diagonal that we started tracking from this area. So all 1, 2, 3 move, now 4 that we're looking at now, we have been tracking and we've been getting them right. So now we just want this one to do this. Just get the labeling off there. We just want it to do that and then go and complete that wave 5. Okay, so the weakness in the US dollar is short term here. All right, so let's look at the rest. That's US dollar chief. We look now at Audi US dollar. Audi US dollar. So Audi US dollar, if we go to the 4-hour chart, let's just go 4-hour. So this one here could do this one, 1, 2, 3, one move back. Take this level here and make this move. So Audi is still bearish, and that makes sense because gold is also still bearish. You'll see as we go to gold. So look out for this structure on Audi US dollar. Okay, let me draw it out for you clearly. This is one. It's only a single 3-wave move. Has not done anything. So possibilities are that it does this one here, takes by the bottom here, goes back up here, making you that one. If it makes this correction here, it means we're still continuing to the downside. Okay, so it may just correct while the euro US dollar is on the rise. So let's keep track and see how that one goes. New Zealand, similar. So New Zealand has made a 3-wave back as well. 3-wave up, 1, 2, 3. 3 waves back, 1, 2, 3. Now it has made a pulsing move. This 3-wave down does not look complete. So it's possible that you can get this correction for it to come and take this level here. But because the rest of the pairs in correlation are looking upside, you may get this to make this move like that. Okay, so let's keep an eye and see how this one plays out. It hasn't got, we don't have enough information to see where that is going. That's all we can see for now. With all the information that we have, this is what we can focus. Either we get a correction here. If we get a correction, then we know that it's going to make at least this move that will correlate with the rest of the weakness in the US dollar. And otherwise, if this whole thing just becomes a correction here, then we know that it's going to have one more down before it goes up for this one. And if it makes this one, we are looking for this one to be a 3-wave structure before we go down. So bearish, similar to what we have on Audi US dollar. Okay. And lastly, on the US dollar pair, I always like to look at US dollar ZAR. And as I said last week, there is a correlation between US dollar ZAR and US dollar CAD, because CAD is usually moved by oil, and when oil rises, CAD goes down because of the CAD, the strong CAD. Similarly here, when oil rises, oil prices go up in South Africa, and it affects us negatively. That's why the rand, hence you get the rand weakness. But with a weak US dollar CAD, you also expect to have a strong ZAR on US dollar ZAR. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. So I must actually show you the whole structure. This one has got the clearest 5 waves to the upside. One of the clearest, say, 5 waves you can ever see on a chart. Okay, so you've got that one in red. I'm going to show you the 5 waves in red. One, we actually started looking at buys from when it did this 1, 2, 3 move here. We were thinking that it was only going to do a 3-wave move here. We actually took a trade here, targeting this area, okay? Because we were expecting that it was going to go down, continue down after that move. But instead, it made a correction. When it made this correction, we knew that it was going to give us another move to the upside. Okay, so that move to the upside was actually giving us 1, 2, 3, 4 with the running flat there. You see the running flat. Let me draw it clearly. 4 with the running flat. Let's draw that in yellow. Get a running flat there. That's your wave 4. And you get what we call an extended wave 5, the clearest extended wave 5. Okay, with all the 5 waves in the lower degree intact. This is very rare. Okay, but you could clearly see that the sequence was clearly defined here with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will see that whenever I have 5 waves, they are not forced. Okay, so when you find yourself forcing labelings, forcing counts, you know that you're not doing it right. You should not find yourself forcing anything. It must be crystal clear if you're doing it right. So now we're on the last wave 5 here. We're expecting a correction. Can this be an expanding flat? Can this be an expanding flat and we get a bounce here? Let's keep an eye, and If that is not the case, then this would have made what I discussed 2 weeks back, I think, the A-B base pattern. After the A-B base pattern, you get a move to the downside, a strong pulsing move to the downside. So how are we going to know which direction it's going to make? So here you already have 1, 2, 3 here, and it is making this one correction here. So if this is the corrective structure, then you're going to take it down. Okay, how are you going to know that it is an expanding flat and it's a continuation pattern? When it makes a pulsing move here. But I'm showing you here without the levels, okay, because you need to use the Fibonacci fibs to project the levels. Okay, all right, so that's how you look at US dollar ZAR. Very interesting, very clear structure to look at on US dollar ZAR. All right, so let's look at the yen PES, pound JPY. It's very quiet. I see nobody's asking any questions. Is everybody happy? So pound JPY, I don't know why I didn't show you pound JPY, the recap and how we looked at this one here. So let me show you from Slack how we forecasted this down move here and all of this to the upside. So this is how we were looking at pound, and all these setups are posted in our premium group. Okay, let's just have a look here if I can find that one. Okay, so this was the daily. This is the daily chart on pound. Okay, all of this in our groups. The daily chart was showing that we needed to have some kind of correction here, a drop here before we get that move. The move that you're currently getting now on pound is that X move that we forecasted there. Okay, so if we look onto the 4 hour, so that's the benefit that you get when you're in our group. You get to see all the charts in all the time frames that you need to see. So it's a very interesting one because we've got this move as an A, and that one was an incomplete B. That's why we needed to get that drop and then this move to the upside. And that move is now completed, as you can see in the chart. Let's go to the chart so you can see that move. Very clear, very clear. Okay, so this chart has been following direction very clearly. 1, 2, 3 now has completed. Okay, let's just check. Show you something very interesting on this pair, and it's very easy. So now if I switch off here, if you think that you know the Elliott Wave theory, you understand the Elliott Wave theory, you should be able to label a chart that looks like this. Because when you look at a chart like this, you don't see any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're forcing it. Okay, so this is where you need to fit the puzzle when you learn your theory. Okay, so let's have a look here. What would you look at? Okay, so this is what I'm looking at here. Very, very clear structures. Obviously requires a trained eye here. So you've got here, look at what happens from this W. Something very clear. You've got 1, 2, 3 waves making this red X. 1, 2, not like that. You've got 1 regular flat there. 1, 2, 3. So first it was 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3 making the Y. Notice another 1, 2, 3 making the W. Notice another 1, 2, 3 making the X. Notice another 1, 2, 3 making the Y. Notice another 1. I showed you this one before it happened, that I'm expecting a 1, 2, and a 3 move. Okay, so because I'm following this sequence here, not that it's just making 1, 2, 3s, the overall sequence. Okay, so if you had any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s here or some funny WXYs here, you will not get this direction right. I mean, you could get it using any other strategy, a different strategy, but it will not be the Elliott Wave theory. Okay, so most people get the direction right with a couple of labelings there and there, but it's just not necessarily the Elliott Wave theory that they're using. Okay, because the charts, most of the charts are breaking the rules. Okay, so let's have a look here. See how this is going now. I don't think it is done as yet. It is not showing any signs of reversal at this stage. So this is how you track this. It's actually a little bit tricky to buy this one at this stage. You need to get a clear correction like that, something of that size, because you've got now a 1 and you're getting this move to the upside. So any corrective move here can take it back to that level. Okay, but I'm actually expecting that we're gonna get a down move from there. Because if you look at this sequence, let's look at this sequence here. The down move has started at this orthodox top here. This is the orthodox top. It started with a 3-wave move there. Okay, so anything here was a correction for that 3-wave move. So it's possible that this correction can be a double, can do that, can do that, can be sideways. So we don't, the only thing we don't know is which corrective structure, but we know that it's gonna give us a correction. So it does not have to give us a deeper one like that. It can even just keep going with only that correction, with only this 1, 2, 3 here. So this will be a WXY move. Okay, so we are just expecting it so that if circumstances change, we expect it. So this can go there like that, correction. But just note that this is very big on the 2 hour, on the 4 hour. You need to look at it in the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so have a look at that. So you could be getting something like that. So you need to watch what happens here and adjust the sequence accordingly. Okay, we'll be watching that one. That's pound JPY. Let's look at the rest of the pound pairs. US dollar JPY. Okay, here's a chart. Most of you owe me a share of the video and a like and a subscribe if you haven't already done so. Okay, so let me show you something very interesting and how I trade. So last week I showed you an amazing trade on EUROCHF that we took from last year that has been playing out up to date. So now I want to show you where this analysis on US dollar JPY comes from. Let's look at the daily. And from last year, July, I have been looking at this structure. I have been following this structure here, all of this. And I'm going to show you what we looked at. And you can even go to the video. I'm going to check which video it was now, and so you can go and refer to what I'm looking at here. So last year in July, we looked at this as a pulsing move, and we looked at this as a 1, 2, 3 wave move. We also looked at this as a 1, 2, 3 corrective move, giving us this as a WX move. Right, so after that, I was expecting that I'm gonna get a 1, a 2, a 3 move all the way to around 104. You see here 104? I projected 104 when we were still here. So what I said is, we are going to get another corrective structure here. The only question is which one. So here you can see that initially when I analyzed this, I was looking at a zigzag. Okay, so what has played out? Did we get a zigzag? No, we didn't get a zigzag, but does that mean we are wrong? No, we just got a different structure. And in this case, it is an expanding flat, a textbook expanding flat. Okay, so what do you have here? You've got 3 waves. You got 3 waves there. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 waves there. 1, 2, 3. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 that ends with a diagonal. That is a textbook expanding flat. So you've got a zigzag here in combination with a expanding flat. After that, I said we are expecting a similar move to what we got here. This move that we're currently getting here. So that is why I could tell you with confidence last week that if you get a corrective structure there in the lower degree, take it, you're almost 100% guaranteed that you will get the trade. Okay, so this becomes now a WXY move. Let's see what, so you're not expecting a daily Z wave move up. Let's see, is this on, let's see, somebody's asking a question. You're not expecting a daily wave, a daily Z wave. I never expected a daily Z wave on US dollar. Oh, okay, it's possible, but I was not expecting it. It is quite possible that you can get a Z there. Okay. Oh, for GBPJPY. I'm gonna have to go back there, but I think let me carry on for just to save time. I'm gonna look at it towards the end because so we may not be looking at it exactly the same. All right, so I'm gonna look at GBPJPY, your question, towards the end when we're done here. So this is what we're looking at on US dollar JPY. So what is the direction currently? So we need to see here, if you get any corrective structure to the upside here, you can take it. You can keep taking it. Initially, I thought this was going to make an expanding flat first. I thought it was going to come tag here, come back for one before it goes. But it looks like this 3-wave move was enough for it to start here with a leading diagonal, and now we're starting a 1, 2. Are we going for 3 here? 3, 4, B5 before we start a bigger correction. So that's what we're going to be looking at. Okay. So that's USDJPY. So for now on USDJPY, let's just go lower degree. Wait for it to correct here. You don't just rush into the sell. If it's going to give you a sell, it's going to do this. It's going to give you a correction. If it's going to go up, it's going to give you this correction here. But it's very risky. You need to get a deeper one, something similar to this to enter this one. So I'm an amazing trade. You guys owe me a share of the videos. All right, so let's carry on with the rest of the yen pairs. EURJPY, another one of my favorites. Okay, so this week, if I get time on Wednesday, I will do a historical analysis on EURJPY. I think I've done it before, just to show you why I'm trading this one so confidently, because the structure is so clear. Right, so if you're looking at this one here, we'll just in the higher degree, the 4 hour, we're looking at this as a 1. And look at this one here, 1, 2, 3. This 3 wave we traded as well, and we expected that this one was going to happen when we were still here. Even before it formed, we expected that it was going to happen like that. And what was it making? It was making a 5, not a 5 wave impulse, but a 11 swing sequence, what we call an 11 swing sequence. I'm expecting that this will give us this move here to the upside. Okay, if we do this one on Wednesday, you'll see why I'm expecting more upside on EURJPY. Obviously, this does not go in a straight line. This is where most people get it wrong. Just because I'm forecasting it does not mean it's going to do this, go straight. There's a lot of things that can happen before it goes. As you can see here, it goes corrects. Okay, if you were here and you were forecasting that this move was going to go to the upside like that, I mean, would you change your mind because it is now doing this? Would you change your mind because it is doing this? Would you change your mind because it's doing this? Your original forecast to the upside must stay intact until the sequence to the upside is completed. Okay, so you cannot change your mind just because it's correcting. But some people's challenge is that they do not know a difference between a correction and a pulsing move or a motive wave when it is just starting up. Okay, so that's where you get it wrong, and you find yourself exiting trades that still has more room to the direction that you're looking at, because you're not sure what's going to happen. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. So any corrective structure here, this may actually keep on doing this. It may actually keep on going with these small corrections here. These types of correction, these sizes of corrections. And these are very difficult to trade. You can see even this move was very difficult to trade here because it goes, corrects, it's slow. So it is emotionally draining if you are overexposed. So keep buying these more corrections here, small corrections. It may give you a bigger move, a bigger wave 3 to the upside. Okay, so anticipate those moves. Okay, so that's EURJPY. If you remember last week, we compared EURJPY and EURCHF. Those lines that you see on EURCHF, this one here is what we put on last week. So I was expecting that EURCHF, what I said was CHJPY. If it breaks that level, then EURJPY was going to do the same. So CHJPY did that as broken, and that's why we could confidently trade EURJPY to the upside like that. So it has now made a 3-wave pullback. Does not mean it's going down. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how it goes, because this can be another move like that, another move like that, and then it keeps going. Okay, so this will support Euro US dollar to the upside. EURJPY, Euro US dollar should go in the same direction because of correlation. So keep an eye on this one. Not much of a trade. We rather look at trading in EURJPY. It's got a clearer structure. Okay, so looking at AUDJPY. AUDJPY, same as the rest of the yen pairs, focused upside here. So you keep buying the small corrections. This one targeting this level first, small correction all the way to this level. Okay, so the structure here is very clear. Correction, upside, correction, upside. That's AUDJPY. New Zealand, same. This one has actually made a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could get a 1 correction here like that before it carries on with a move to the upside. But this correction may be a bit more sideways like that, something like this. You've got 1 like that, like that. Okay, so I always just forecast a regular flat, but it doesn't mean that this is the correction that's going to play out. I'm just showing that we're going to get some kind of a sideways move here before we go to the upside. So wait for that. Okay, so that is New Zealand CAD. CAD has made a 3-wave up. It needs to correct now. Okay, actually CAD is going for a C wave. So this one here, you keep buying the corrections. Keep buying the corrections. You can see where my arrow is going. Keep buying the corrections up all the way up to that level. Whenever it corrects, you keep buying it. It's got no signs of a reversal. It can break this and even come to that level. Okay, so that's how you trade CADJPY. So the yen pairs are looking upside in general. Okay, I think we've covered all the yen pairs. So now let's do gold and silver. So gold and silver, it's very simple. We're just trading it to the downside. We're just trading it to the downside, and because of this one here, let me show you the daily on gold. I think I showed this in one of the webinars, why we are looking for this gold to go to the downside. So do not worry that I'm looking at euro US dollar upside and gold is going down. It does happen. It does happen. And if you notice the last couple of weeks, there hasn't been much of a correlation between euro US dollar and gold. So let me show you this bars pattern here. Bars pattern on gold. Look at this here. I already have it on the side. So this pattern here is what I'm showing you, that we are expecting that move here on gold. So this pattern comes from here. I'm just projecting here. Look what happened there. It started with that move here. It started with the correction, that move here. And then it drops, corrects, and then we're coming down. So we are expecting that gold will keep going down. Why are we expecting it to keep going down? Because we are expecting gold to give us this move. This A, and this one is a B, C move. And then we're looking at this one, A, B, C. So what do we do with gold? So even if it looks like it's going up, it may go up looking to support upside on euro US dollar with this correction, but overall that would be a correction, and we're going to keep selling, keep selling like that until we get to that level. So that's the forecast on gold. Okay, so that structure that you're looking at there, that ABC move, there's a larger ABC here, not even an ABC move, but rather a WXY. So there are some people that say, okay, I've just labeled it, an ABC move. You can get it right maybe 2 or 3 times as an ABC, but you will get the sequence wrong because ABC and WXY are not the same thing. Okay, so if it's a WXY, it's gonna have a different structure. Okay, so don't just focus everything ABC. It's not just ABC. There's WXY, so you just need to understand what that means as well. So this is what we're looking at, and if we look at this long term, we are looking. There's a big swing from the upside, up from the swing high to the swing low here, and all of this was making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WXY correction. So that's what we're looking at on gold. But what do we have information for? We've got enough information to trade this to the downside. There's nothing convincing for upside here. Anything, this could just be a move to the come and retest there and keep going down like that. Okay, so you need to have a strategy to trade this. So even this can just keep going, because this could just be a correction on its own, correction, and it just keeps doing this. And by after a couple of days, you'll be surprised how you missed all this move on gold, and you're only finding it so late if you do not have a structure. Okay, so you'll be surprised when it's going to the end, to the target. Okay, so you need to have a solid strategy to focus this. So silver, we're focusing the same here, should be coming. And silver will see how it goes. It will lead us as to what gold will do when it comes to that level. this level here, because this is a 1, 2, 3 wave move here. This is a 1, 2, 3 wave move there. So this could make another 1 correction here. So this correction here will not necessarily mean that we're going up on silver. It may just be another move that does this. So let me just clean it up and label it. Let's just clean it up. This could be another 1, 2, 3. So W, X, Y move. So supporting further downside on gold. So this correction does not have to be this big. It can be small, but keep going down like that. Overall, this will be just the whole correction there. And then we're going to get upside like that. So that's what we're looking at on silver and gold. Let's now move on to the pound pairs. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat box before I move on to the pound pairs. How do you know if a correlation is bullish or bearish? That is something that we discuss in the course. We've got a full course on correlation actually coming in the next week for the premium group members, because like I always say, correlation is not a blanket approach. It doesn't mean pairs with a same quoted pairs will go the same way, or with the same base pairs will go the same way. That's not always like that. You are looking at the structure that each individual pair is making, and some structures will lead you as to what the other pair will do. So correlation can have leading and lagging on it. Okay, it should be Wednesday, Harry. We're gonna have it on Wednesday. All right, so let's carry on here. So that's silver and gold. Let's go to the pound pairs. So pound pairs, okay. Looking at pound CAD, one of the most loyal pairs that we have, you can see this one is begging to go down. I'm on the daily here now. This is nothing but a correction. Nothing but a correction, but you need to be able to focus that correction to know when it will go down. Okay, so you can see here, it made this move here. So you may get a correction similar in size as that one before you go down. Okay, but you know that it's going down, but you find that if it comes here, it does not always go all the way down. It may come back for one before it goes. Okay, so let's have a look here in the lower degree what is happening here. Let's go to the 1 hour. I think we already posted this one for our members to look at in the next week. Okay, so this one actually looks like EURCAD structure. Let's have a look here. This looks like a EURCAD structure that we traded a couple of weeks back. Okay, so if you look at this here, you've got a 1 up here, and you're getting this one as a correction. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is a nice double XY move, but it's too short to trade. So you've got a passing move here, a correction here, and you'll be looking for this to come back around this area for a sell. Okay, so that's what you're going to be looking at here. So you still have a little bit more upside for a set. It could come here, break this top, and then come back down. So that's what you're going to be looking at on this one. We already have this one. We're already looking at this one in our group, so we're looking at that. Okay. We also have levels in the group, so I don't show the levels here necessarily. So that's pound CAD going very well. Let's look at pound chief. Pound chief, you can see that we've got that arrow and we're looking for it to come down. Okay, but I think this one here, let's just have a look here. It looks like it has made a corrective structure here, like a flat, like that. So we need to observe and see what happens when it gets to this level. I just need to bring it down and see the structure overall. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down here. See what we're looking at here. Yes, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. So this is making a red wave 4, possibly making a red wave 4 here. 1, 2, 3 will be here, making a red wave 4. So let's see if this one breaks down here. That's corrective structure. You can see that this structure here is very corrective. So it may be completed and we're going to be looking for this to go to the downside. Okay. So pound chief looks like it's going downside. So this structure is very corrective. It's very corrective. You can see that we got it from right at the bottom and now we're taking it up there. We've got the bounce that we were looking at. Okay, so pound US dollar is lagging that one a bit. You can see that pound US dollar has not necessarily made this three-wave move that pound CHF has already made. So we discussed this one on pound US dollar. So pound US dollar can still make these three waves. Let's remember what I said on pound US dollar. It can do this one here. Can do this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down before it goes. Okay, so I was just recapping on that one. So the rest of the pound pairs, pound AUD. So pound AUD, if we're looking on the daily, switch off here. Pound AUD, you can see that this one is begging to go up. It is begging to go up, but when does it go up? When this correction is over. Okay, this is the daily, so you need to take it, get it from the bottom. So this can go back and not necessarily retest that top, but this level. That will still be a lot of pips to the upside because that's almost 400 pips. So it can get to that level before it starts going down like this, making this a three-wave move and downside. But like I said, even if you know that it is downside, always expect that it will not go down in a straight line. It will possibly give you that move before it goes. Always expect a different alternative because the market is not that straightforward. Okay, so that's pound AUD. So let's look at the 4 hour on this one here. On the 4 hour. So here's another interesting thing with structures. So most people that sends me chat privately, which I do not prefer. I don't like don't send me private chats, guys. I don't discuss private chats except with my members only. Okay, otherwise imagine if everybody was sending me chats for my comments. So I only do that for the premium group members only. So look at this structure. So if you are labeling this, what do you label this structure? So this is the stuff that one needs to be able to understand, to master, to be able to know when that correction is going to happen, is going to complete. So look at this here on the daily. Yes, you can see it's begging to go up. You'll find that you are missing this trade because you don't have the timing. Look at this one. Are you just going to wait for this to break the trend line? What if it breaks the trend line and comes back? Okay, so you need to be able to know when this correction actually ends other than just trading breakouts. You don't just trade breakouts. So that's why you've got fib levels that helps you to pinpoint the entries. That's why we've got the blue box magic that helps us to pinpoint the entries. We also have the stock RSI strategy that we use to confirm real breakouts. Okay, real is not necessarily the right word because all breakouts, all price moves are valid. Okay, so let's have a look at this structure that looks a little bit complex. So this is not complex at all because you can see that here is a three-wave move. Here is another three-wave move. Here, what are we anticipating? We're anticipating a three-wave move like that. So what do you have there? You've got a simple WXY move. Do you know how to trade WXY like a pro? Watch my video on how to trade WXY like a pro. It is on my channel. Then you will know how to trade these structures. It's a very brief video. It's a very high level overview video of what we do, but it may give you an idea of what to look at when you trade this. So this may come back down for this one before it goes, because you can see that this whole thing is a sideways double correction, or what we call a seven swing sequence. Okay, so that's pound AUD. Let's look at the other pairs. Pound New Zealand. What are we looking at on pound New Zealand? Pound New Zealand and Euro New Zealand, I'm actually looking for upside. So here we've got 1, 2, 3-wave move, 3-wave down. We're getting 1, 2. Are we going to come back here and take this top? So we need to see what happens when it takes the top. If you're not in the trade, you need to wait for it to give you a correction either after breaking the top for upside, because this can give you a expanding flat or a running flat or a regular flat. Any flat is possible here. So it can come and do that down before it goes, or even that down and then goes, giving you a running flat. So either way, it can give you that structure. So you just need to know which one is playing out for you to take it even further to the upside. So let's just have a look here on the daily, see where we are going on pound in New Zealand. So pound New Zealand, we are looking to at least break this level or this level. No, actually this level. The right level is this one. We'll be looking for it to come and break that level. Okay, so that will be a nice one if it goes that, because then that will make this one a 1, 2, 3 like that, making this 1. Can even come back for this one. And this becomes a big 3-wave structure, a big 3-wave correction, and then we get a continuation to the upside. So this move to the downside, if it happens, one will need to be very careful with it because it can turn anytime. Okay, so that's long-term focused on pound New Zealand. Looks very good for if we get that trade to the upside. Not necessarily this one, but this one. Okay, because this one could be the same size as this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3-wave pullback before we go. All right. Okay, let me do it for you nicely so you can see what we're looking at here. 1, 2, 3, up, swing up, 1, 2, 3. 1, possibly 2, if this one comes back and touches there, down, and possibly another 1, 2, 3. Why would it go like that? It's already going in 3 waves. So this first one will be WXY. So it can still extend higher like that, giving you this big correction here like that. Okay, if that happens, then you're gonna get a big move to the downside. Eventually, you're gonna get that big move to the downside, but that's long-term forecast. Okay, you may even forget about it when it happens. You may be surprised when all of this that we're looking at has played out. Okay, so let's look at the euro pairs now. I think we've done pound, CAD, CHF, AUD, New Zealand. US dollar we've already done, JPY we've already done. So now let's look at the euro pairs. Look at euro New Zealand. Okay, look at euro New Zealand. You can see we've got a similar structure. Same here. I'm expecting continuation to the upside. If this is your 1, 2, 3 waves, remember what we have on pound New Zealand. Now here is correlation there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this one is making a correction here, possibly come and take there. It's possible that it can come back for 1 before it goes. And if it goes, it's going to be a big move to the upside. But let's keep an eye and see how that one goes. But in the immediate term, we are looking to at least get to this level. So let's have a look at that level. And it is not a support or resistance level. It is a structure that we are looking at. So let's look in the lower time frame. 4 hour. Okay, so on the 4 hour, this is the type of continuation that we were looking at. We looked at this 1, 2, 3 down last week, 1, 2, 3 down, and now it's making 1, 2. Now look out for this one. Could even break here, but we're looking for upside here, continuation to the upside. Okay, continuation to the upside to that level. But we're expecting more to that level that we showed, this level here. Excuse me, this level. Okay, so before it gets to that level, it can come back and do that. But I don't expect this down here. I'm expecting that it will just come here and take that level. And we're gonna get this nice big move to the downside, which will be similar to this one here. And then before we go to the upside, like that. Okay, so we'll update it as it goes. So this long-term forecast, not enough data to forecast it with high accuracy, but we'll be watching it. Okay, so let's look at EURCAD. EURCAD. Okay, so this is what's happening with EURCAD. We've got 3 waves to the downside like that, and we traded these 3 waves up. Okay, we traded these 3 waves up. So what is happening here is that we've got a move down here, and we're expecting that we're just gonna go down like that. So here it looks like it's making another 1, 2, 3 waves like that. Is it going to give us this one? If it gives us this one, then it means that this is going to be even deeper, because this is a continuation pattern. Because this will do a structure. This will give us a structure like this one here, 1, 2, 3 like that before it comes down. So this will be a 1, 2, 3 wave structure, a WXY move. So we'll be able to trade if we get this structure with almost guaranteed 100% certainty this move to the upside before we get this move to the downside. If you remember Audi US dollar trade, the free 100 pips, almost guaranteed 100 pips that we traded, it was a similar structure. So if we get this correction here, we'll be trading it like that similarly. So EUROCAD, we know that it is bearish. So anything that's happening here is a correction. EUROAUD has made 3 waves up. We thought, oh no, actually it's still going well. So EUROAUD is making a 1, 2, 3, and now we're busy with this correction. It's a continuation pattern. We'll be looking for it to come and retest that top. Why do we want to retest that top? Because on the daily, we're looking at that diagonal. This textbook diagonal that we're looking at there. This is the textbook diagonal. Checks all the boxes, textbook stuff. Very easy to trade. See here, it was very easy to focus this. It's your diagonal, starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now you're looking for this one to be make a B, C. We didn't know that it was going to make a deeper wave A, so it could have been a 1, 2, 3 like that, making a zigzag, but now it's going deeper. Looks like it's continuation there. If it is continuation, it can come back to that level. Okay, so it can even break higher and go. Why? Because that could be, let's show you here. This A could be a complete correction, because I'm labeling it A because of the personality with an I, right? So this could be a wave 1, a wave 2, and we may be on our way for a big wave 3. But we'll see that when we get to that level. We cannot focus that with certainty. So we need to take the trade when we get to this level here. Okay, so let's have a look. On the lower degree, that is the structure that you're looking at, 4 hour. On the 4 hour, all right, on the 4 hour, we're getting that continuation pattern. So wait for this structure. It is incomplete. Wait for this structure to complete to take it up. Okay, that's Euro Audi, Euro Pound. This one is just becoming messy. Not a very interesting one to trade. We have, if we look at the higher time frame, okay, you can actually see it on the 4 hour here, that we are looking at this long-term V pattern that has been playing out from last year. Okay, so this V pattern here. So typically this type of patterns breaks to the upside. So what we will be expecting here looks like we are making a 1, 2, maybe a bit of a drop before it comes and give us this one up to this level. But remember, when it breaks out here, it may come back for 1 before it goes. That's how a V pattern typically plays out. So it's a very messy structure here. So I will be interested in this when this is completed like this. Let me show you here. When this structure here that is playing out here, if that structure breaks to the downside like this, if it breaks this level here, okay, if we start seeing that we are coming down after this has completed the sequence, we're still going up, but once we start coming down here like that and then we get a clear sell setup, I'll be interested in the move down. But for now, it still needs to go up. But you can see that this move to the upside is very slow. You cannot trade a slow move like that. Okay, so this one, you just need to keep an eye on it. That's Euro Pound. Audi we've done, EURCHF. EURCHF, supported by the other Euro pairs, you should get continuation to the upside. Continuation, every small flag like that, you keep buying it. It could be making a wave 3 all the way up to at least that level there. Okay, so it could possibly go up in 5 waves there. So let's have a look. Also, that's coming from a diagonal. It's also coming from a diagonal. All right. All right, so that's what you're going to be looking at. Possibly this is I will not look at this as a 3-wave structure for downside because the other Euro pairs are looking upside. So I'll be looking for this to go up with the other Euro pairs as well. So that's EUROCHF. Right, it looks like we've done all the Euro pairs, the pound pairs, and now we can go to some of the CAD pairs. Now the trade that I was talking about that you need to look out for in the next coming sessions is this one, Audi New Zealand. Okay, so if you look at Audi New Zealand, it has made a 1 expanding flat, 2, 3 up, has made a 3-wave pullback, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now if you're not in this trade, you may be still lucky and get, okay, look at this one here. So this could be completed, this correction here could be completed, and we are going, let's see if I've located there. Okay, let's have a look there. Okay, let's just have a look. Let's just have a look. You'll be looking for this to come to this level. So you'll be looking for this to come to this level minimum. But you cannot just rush into it. You should have, if you wanted to get into this one, you should have entered when it made this corrective structure. But if it makes another one for you here, you can take it guaranteed, almost guaranteed to that level. Okay, to that level, it will be a guaranteed trade, but be careful because there's also a possibility that it can do this first before it goes. So this structure can be the same structure as this one, but this is guaranteed that it will come back to that level and test it. Why? Because we should have gotten a test of this level and a move down, but it did not test and moved and go back. It has tested and now it's just making a correction. So if it makes this one down, it's fine. It will still go to the upside. If it just corrects here, it will just go. It may not give you another entry. It may not give you another entry. It may just go straight like that. Okay. So that's what we're looking at on Audi New Zealand. Let's have a look if there's any other pair. CADCHF. We've made a 3-wave up here. It looks incomplete, so you're gonna have, looks like we're gonna have one push to the upside. Let's look at oil. Oil. So oil, it's very interesting how it is following structure. Okay, so let's have a look here. Looks like our wave 5 is in place there, and looks like we have made 1, 2, 3, 4, and we were gonna make 5 down here. That will give us an ABC. So what we don't know is how far this B here is gonna go to with the correction here. Maybe make this one. So we could be making a bigger correction here like that. Okay, so this can make even a W here, a double correction here if we get something like that, and it may give us another corrective structure. So making this a big corrective structure, correcting the whole move. Okay, are we there yet? So we're gonna keep an eye on this one. So this one, you can see that we projected. So just another thing here. I don't know if I should be showing you this thing here. If you're looking here as at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, let's switch everything off. If you're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, a lot of people make mistakes. You find that somebody's just making a 1, 2, 3, then a 4, and then a 5 down. But you don't even know what structure is wave 1 here. Which one is wave 1? Is this the wave 1? Is this the wave 1 here? Or is this 1, 2, 3 move a wave 1? And you cannot have a 1, 2, 3 move as a wave 1. Okay, so why did I label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Because I can see the structure clearly. So this is what I'm looking at here. This is your wave 1 here. That's the single wave here. Let's just have a look here. This is a wave 1 here. And from there, you're looking at this one here. That's a 1, 2, 3. And that is your wave 2. So your wave 1 is this one. It's a single wave. Your 2 is a correction. And now you've got that 3. After that, you're getting a 3-wave correction, clear 3-wave correction, 1, 2, 3. Now that becomes your 3, that becomes your 4, and now you're looking downside. Now you can actually project where your wave 5 is going to end because you've got all those waves in place and your structure is right. You're not forcing anything. Okay, so you need to get it right, clearly right. All right, so let's keep going now. That's oil. What you're going to be looking at is for it to at least take down there to complete the, let's switch on there, to complete the fifth wave in the lower degree for an A move. Okay, so you can see that I already have it projected there. That's oil. All right, so now let's look at the indices. We're running a bit behind time today. So let's look at S&P 500. We'll look at, so the S&P 500 has been going well so far. We're looking at this as, it looks like this is going to be all of wave 4 in blue. Okay, but let's see how that one plays, because the rest of the indices, you'll see as we do the rest of the indices, S&P 500 does not have the clearest structure as the others, but it looks like here you've got a 11 swing sequence, 1 2 3 4 5, which is 1 2 3 here, 4 1 2 3, that gives you 7, and then 1 2 3, that gives you 8, and then another 1 2 3, that gives you 11. Okay, so the axis, you count them as one. So you've got W, X, Y, X, Z here within this X. Okay, so we need to see if this a 11 swing sequence or if it's a 5-wave impulse. Okay, and looking at the other indices, this is where market correlation comes in. We are bullish on the indices currently. Okay, any corrective structure, you're going to take it at least to that level. The others have already broken that level. So let's see how this one, the others are playing out. So let's look at the NASDAQ and the UK 500 and see how that correlates with the S&P 500. So the NASDAQ looks like it's making a clear 5 waves here. It's 1 2 3 4 5, and it has already broken the top that the S&P 500 has not broken as yet. So S&P 500 could come and break and make these 5 waves completed by the NASDAQ as well. So the indices are looking bullish. Any corrective structure, you can take it up, same as you will do on S&P 500. That's how you can use market correlation. Let's look at the UK 500. UK 500, we are in this corrective structure here. This will break to the upside, but first it might break down before it goes. Okay, what you need to see here is a corrective structure here. It is not very clear, but you've got clear 3 waves down here. Challenge here is that you've got another 3 waves. That means continuation of the correction. So it's possible that you can get this doing 1 2 3. Okay, but we can see that after that, that will go to the upside. So any corrective structure here does not even have to be there. It can only be only on this swing here, because we'll be getting out of this structure. That structure will be completed, and then we're going to be looking upside on the UK 100. Okay, so the rest of the indices are following the same structure. Let's look at the Nikkei. So the Nikkei, clear 3 waves down, and now we're looking up. 3 waves down, 1 2 3. Now you're looking for a correction here. You take it up. All the indices are blue, are bullish. So you'll be looking for the Nikkei to go to that level. See here, you've got 1 2 3. Now you're looking for this to make another 1 2 3 back to that level. Let's see what happens when you get to that level. Still far. We can still trade this move to that to the upside. That's the Nikkei. DAX. Here you can expect that this keeps going. Could even get something like that. Simply because all the other indices are bullish, we are looking for this to all go at the same time. They go at the same time. So looking forward for this correction here, or in the lower degree, you can look out in the 1 hour for a flag here for continuation. All the indices looking upside. Okay. For those who like the NIFTY in India, let's have a look. I've got the NIFTY here, but it should be following the same trend of the rest of the indices. So NIFTY, you can see it's already very close to that level that the S&P 500 has not broken as yet. So continuation to the upside. It's very risky to buy this one. It is already gone. Okay, so you'll have to wait for another corrective structure that is the same size as this one. Okay, so the indices are very clear at this stage. That's all the indices that we can look at. Let's look at, lastly, the cryptocurrencies. Let's look at Bitcoin. How's Bitcoin doing? Let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, what we looked at last week was that we got out of this structure, okay, and I indicated that we went out with a three-wave structure. We've got 1, 2, 3 here. You're expecting a 1, 2, 3 back. Let's see what happens after this 1, 2, 3 back happens. But it now looks like it's not going aggressively. Let's go to the let me adjust this chart a bit. It is not going up aggressively as we expected. So now, this is what I think is going to happen now. Short term on Bitcoin, it looks like we can make this three-wave structure, retest the bottom here, make another one like this. If it makes this structure still continuation to the downside, which means it will break this low and it will have further downside. So you can see it is not going aggressively, it's pulling back deeply. So any bounce here will just be to complete this. So even if it does not give you the bounce, let's switch off the labeling here. Even if it does not give you the bounce here, there's nothing that changes the structure with this if it just keeps going down, because that will be making these three waves down here. So still no upside for the cryptocurrencies at this stage. So that's Bitcoin. Let's look at Litecoin. Should be the same. Also got out of the structure with a three-wave move. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it bigger. There's the structure that we were looking at here. Also got out of this structure and it looked like it was correcting above the line there. And it went with 1, 2, 3 waves up. Now it has pulled back with 1, 2, possibly going to retest this. And even if it bounces there, unless it is making an AB base pattern, then we'll look for upside. But it looks very weak at this stage, but that is with the naked eye. Right, so let's see what the sequence is going to give us. So here, if we get this bounce here, it's continuation to the downside. So still no hope for the cryptocurrencies. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, similar, was also out of the structure, got out of this down structure here. Okay, it was starting to look good, but even this looks like it's making a 1, 2, 3 up. We're making 1, 2, 3 back. And it's very deep like the rest. So we'll be looking for these two bounce to and retest there and go. Or if it doesn't bounce, it can just go from there. Okay, so here is a corrective structure. When it breaks to the downside, you can take it. But be careful, it may bounce up here to come to that level first. Okay, lastly, Ripple. Let's look at Ripple. Where's my Ripple? There's my Ripple. Exactly the same structure towards the end of the swing here. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back. This one has already tested the bottom. You can see it's already starting to make a bit of a bounce here. Let's see what happens when it gets to that level, whether it's going to come back and continue to the downside. So still more bearishness for the cryptocurrencies. So the only way that this structure will change is if they are all forming what we call the Elliott's AB base pattern, which breaks here and then it starts going with an impulse. But right now you haven't got any indications of any of that. But at the same time, even if that is going to happen, you are not going to miss it because the market will always give you an entry point. All right, guys, so that's all I had for you this Sunday. I hope you enjoyed the webinar and good luck for the week ahead. Hope you make lots and lots of money. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Do share the videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Have a great weekend. I'm going to stop the recording here. If anybody's got questions, you can ask them off the record. Cheers, guys. Have a great one.